Hello, 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 friends. Nicholas here with DIVOted Talks, Devoted Talks, on a mission to end suffering for the individual and for the world. That's kind of simple. I kind of like that. Oi, 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 oi. Yeah, so there's been a lot on my mind and been a lot of, challenges in. I was like gung-ho and I was rested after being sick over the weekend. And then as the days have worn on, my routine is starting to be a little more challenging to do, and it was so easy to do it. It was very deliberate and intentional. And quite a few times I have kind of faltered, but that's because I haven't been planning ahead. In those other ones, I had planned ahead because I had been sick and there wasn't anything else. I had a clear runway to take off. But day to day, I still have the same things going on that had gone on previously prior to being sick. And so they will, through gravity or the gravitas of each one of them, pull me in their own unique way. And so what is called upon of me is to, instead of just getting lost in the weeds, doing the do, having moments where I sit down and think about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, when, where, and why. And saying that sounds exhausting. Are you with me? I know you're with me. I know you can hear me, because it's not an unusual thing. It's nothing special. It's just quite challenging. Oh my gosh, I hope. I don't know. I think it's volume right. Anyway, so hopefully you've been hearing me clearly the whole time. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. How do we handle keeping ourselves on track? Well, everybody's different. So it really is going to depend upon what really moves you and stabilizes you. Like, are you attached to faith? Are you attached to a belief? Are you attached to an image of self, or an image of the world, or an image of others? I am attached to an image of self, image of the world, an image of others, right? That is my idealist nature. I'm looking for a specific rasa, right, essence to the way things are. And that doesn't always give me the sankalpa, the resolution, or the resolve to continually show up in the way that is needed. It allows, when I'm like that, to cut corners. Now, it's not saying I have to be immovable and a rock, although I was listening to a song yesterday, like a stone, and I'll wait for you there. Alone. Anyway, I'm not endorsing that song at all, by the way. But these natures that we carry have their own nuances, and without contemplation, evaluation, reflection, will you be able to move forward with precision and with integrity if you don't pay attention? So through the use of these integration and evaluation and reviewing and noticing, you gain this power to go, oh, this is what I need to do so that I don't go down that way. And, oh, I need to do this so that I don't go that way, right? It's like regular maintenance on your car, so that you're not surprised if a tire goes flat or it's blown or whatever. And it's not easy, right? Like, some of these things are probably one of the hardest things, or the hardest thing to look at about ourselves, right? Because if it was easy, we would have already noticed it and made adjustments, right? Like, we're talking about the deep-seated, the deep systemic, heavy root system stuff about us. And like any root, it's going to anchor. And so our momentum is often stilled based on the length of rope that we have, or the length of vine that we have to proceed forward based on the context of the situation. And so I just happened to be looking out the window and I thought I saw somebody I know. And so being able to have roots that can move, roots that can shift and adjust based on new knowledge is amazing, but we have to learn how to excavate the roots such as they are in safe ways so that we don't destroy the root unless it needs to be destroyed, and can then pick ourselves up and head in directions or anchor ourselves as we go in, more challenging directions. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going with this. Outside of, oopsie, I meant to hit pause and I hit stop. And so it ended it. So I was saying, I don't know where I'm going with this, except that we're only going to be able to go as far as we've given ourselves either the slack or the, viable distance to go. It's kind of like animals or even an elephant who have been on a leash or on a chain or whatever. They learn the confines, and then eventually they don't have to have that on them for them to stay within the confines of where they're at. And so that's what I'm saying here. So if we have strong roots that are really dug in, we're going to know how far we can go and then maybe not venture out anymore. But also, we may have given ourselves extra slack, but our momentum is impeded because we still have those strong roots that are pulling us back or anchoring us to where we used to be. And so we have to keep going and working extra hard. It's like when we used to do drills where we would sprint while somebody was holding a rubber band at our waist. And so you're like running full pace and you're dying, you're like struggling and working hard, but you're not going anywhere, or you're going very, very, very minimally, piece by piece by piece. And that's what I'm talking about here. When we start new habits, when we start doing new things, when we're trying to make a transformation, yet we're still in the metamorphosis phase, it could be one step forward and two steps back, right? Any progress is good progress, but the truth is, do you know why your progress is the pace that it is? And that is what this all is all about right here, right now. Do you know why? Have you looked at your roots? Have you looked at the length of your chain? Do you know how to give yourself more slack to progress further, faster, and farther? Further, faster, and farther. I just repeated myself. Further, faster, and freely. There we go. Yay! Yay for English! Yay for vocabulary! So, if you are struggling with change, if you are struggling with, why am I back here again? It might have something to do with what you're anchoring yourself to, how ingrained that anchoring has been, say roots or belief systems or ways of living and being in the world. And so it may not actually be any fault of your own. In fact, I would always say it's not a fault of your own, right? We're always stuck on placing blame on things. And sometimes it's just a fact of the nature of things right now. It's just the way the dice rolled, right? I don't think anything in life is random. That's a personal belief. But sometimes things fall the way they fall. And so with that, we then move forward. We pick up what we can pick up, leave behind what needs to be left behind, or we can leave behind, and then we go. So, my friends, take what you like and leave the rest, but do know that not only are you a beautiful creation, your experiences are valid, your challenges are valid, and you don't have to explain it to anybody else for it to be okay. Be well, be free.